The smartphone. It's come a long way. What started out as a nice thing to have is now the most important device in our lives. But the industry has hit a wall. Each new phone is just a slightly better version than the one before it. Adding to it has become a sea of sameness, and a focus on apps over the phone experience itself. Don't get us wrong, we love apps, but current smartphones make you use them one at a time. In and out, and on to the next app. Then the next, and the next, rarely working together. So, what do we do now?
Hi, I'm Dave,
And I'm Kath.
and today we're going to give you an introduction to mobile phone development.
So phone development sounds as if it could be quite complex, but in fact if you know the right tips and tricks, it's a great, easy way to get started. And Dave's going to show us exactly how.
So let's go and understand why this is such a hot topic at the moment.
This way.
In today's very connected society, most people have mobile phones.
In fact, in South Africa, we have more phones than we have people. And most people use their phone to access the internet and not actually a PC.
So there's really two types of phones: smartphones
And feature phones. So the main differentiator between a smartphone and a feature phone is that a feature phone isn't necessarily as powerful as a smartphone. Their processors are smaller, they don't necessarily even always have a browser to access the internet, their apps aren't quite as rich, and they don't have as an evolved marketplace or ecosystem to buy apps and start getting more information.
whereas smartphones are really just like small PCs. They support things like video, music, and other entertainment, as well as offering the ability to open Word documents, Excel, and PDFs. So let's go and have a look at the ecosystem.
So let's go and have a look and see why smartphones are such a hot topic at the moment.
With a different kind of phone that doesn't make you go in and out of apps, but lets you glance and go. A new experience that keeps your life in motion and lets you flow seamlessly through integrated hubs. Hubs that pull the stuff you want and bring it all to one place. This isn't the next chapter in the story of the smartphone. This is a new beginning. The new Windows Phone 7 series.
Let's look at some of the features. Smartphones have rich social media interaction, such as Facebook, Twitter, and internet messaging. Let's look at what we're talking about. Phone has rich social media interaction through the People Hub. This also allows us to look at contacts from Facebook. We can go into the details, have a look at what their news feeds are, as well as look at the pictures that they have available. The People Hub allows us to communicate with people via Facebook as well as Windows Live services, using messaging as well as putting posts onto people's wall.
So smartphones are great because I can be productive while I'm on the go. They've got great support for calendars, email, as well as documents.
So let's go and have a look at some of these features. Outlook is our mail client. Allows us to read emails as well as manage all the conversations that we have over email. So here we have all our emails. Outlook also allows us to check all the unread as well as flagged items and urgent items inside our mailbox. So very easy to navigate through. Next up, we're going to go and have a look at the fact that we can use other mail clients as well. Here is Google. Let's have a look at Office. Inside Office, we have the option of going into Excel and going into Excel spreadsheets. We can edit cells and navigate through the document. We can also go into PowerPoint and view a PowerPoint presentation, navigating just by sliding the screen. And then lastly, we can go into Word. This opens Word documents right on your phone so that you can go and read them. You can scale and zoom the screen according to what you need to be able to read. Let's go have a look at Adobe Acrobat Reader as well. Most people receive PDF documents over email, and now you can open them right on your phone. We also have the ability to go and have a look at maps. This uses the phone's built-in GPS to locate where you are, to allow you to also navigate to different locations. Here we have the phone picking up my current location, and I can zoom in and identify where I am. I can also specify where I want to go to, and it will find directions for me. We also have access to Internet Explorer, which allows us to browse the web just as we would on our PC. I have a calculator on the system as well, just for ease of use. And then we have Calendar. The calendar on the phone allows me to manage multiple different mail client calendars across a single instance. I can navigate through this to go and look at what to-dos are and what events I have through a day. So those are some of the really cool features from a productivity point of view that we can use.
So the great thing about these phones is that I can be productive while I'm on the move, stay in touch with my friends, and be entertained.
And they have so much processing power, we can play games, watch videos, and listen to music. I can even watch videos on my phone.
And I can do some amazing games.
Another great feature is that I can also play music. Now you've seen what you can do with a smart device. Let's go and look at how you can write applications for the mobile platform. Most applications are needed to be written using something called an Application Programming Interface, or API. For the Windows Phone, we have two different APIs which you can use, Silverlight or XNA. So Kath, tell us a bit about Silverlight.
So Silverlight, Microsoft developed Silverlight as a rich media plugin for the browser, and it enabled you to also build web applications that ran across both PC as well as Mac. However, when they brought out Windows Phone 7, they actually chose Silverlight as the platform and the operating system for the Windows Phone 7, which means that you can now build experiences for both web and the phone using the same tools, which is really great and easy.
Yes, so let's actually have a look at that. So we're going to show you a Silverlight application. See, here we have a Silverlight golf tracking application. I'm going to create a new round. I'm then going to select the players that I'm going to be playing with for that day. Once I've selected the players, it lets me choose which golf club I'm going to be playing at. So once I have the golf club, it's going to tell me the details for that golf club. Select that and I'm going to start the game and start tracking the game. So that's pretty cool. Now let's look at XNA. XNA is a game-based framework which allows us to develop applications for 2D and 3D and allows us also to do very, very rich media. Let's have a look at an example of XNA. That's pretty cool. A lot of really nice rich media applications can be written with this framework. So now you've seen what the two frameworks can do. Let's go and have a look at how this is done. First off, we're going to use Expression Blend, then we're going to go in and look at Silverlight and then XNA. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an application in Expression Blend. I'm going to open Expression Blend and then create a Windows Phone application, new project. So go to the Windows Phone options, select Windows Phone application and click OK. When it loads, it will show me a mock-up of the phone layout. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left-hand side here and actually have a look at the different tools that are available for me to use. You'll see it comes with buttons, list box, passwords and things like that. And at the bottom it shows me what the layout's made of. On the right-hand side of the screen, if I select something, it shows me the properties of what's selected. So I can go and specify foreground colors, go and set opacities, and other such properties. We have quite a bit that we can do here, but it'll take a bit of getting used to actually understand it. So we're going to add a text box to the screen, and all we're going to have here is Hello World. It'll automatically resize the boxes for you, and I'm also going to add a button to the screen. I can add a number of different types of controls to the screen if I want to, but we'll just leave it at this for now. So let's run the application. So now the application's starting the emulator. The emulator is basically the phone on your machine. It loads it, and then the application gets deployed to the emulator itself. And there you can see the application is now running and I can interact with it. We also have the option of changing orientation. We can play with zooming, and it also comes with some really nice tools. So if I go to the tools, we have the option of actually simulating the accelerometer. So the movement of the phone itself will actually be going through to the device sensor. And we can also play with location-based information. With the location-based information, it'll load a map that we can then click on and move around. So what I also can do is actually manipulate the location information. This screen gives me the option of actually seeing a map which loads off the web, and I can actually click on it and interact with it. All the interactions that I do get sent to the phone. So I'm going to select a few points, click live, and then click play. And this will then go and move the GPS coordinates and then send it to the phone itself. Very, very useful if you're building location-based applications. So I'm going to close that now, close my application, actually start the other way to make the applications. So what we're going to do now is open Visual Studio. Visual Studio is another tool that we can use to create Windows Phone applications. Similar to the Blend approach, we're going to create a new Windows Phone application. So I'm going to go New Project, Windows Phone, Silverlight for Windows Phone application, and click OK. Select type, and when the phone application loads, you'll see there's a big difference. You'll see there's a phone, and on the right hand side you'll see there's some text. So what I'm going to do is add a text box. Just by declaring text box, giving it a name, and then specifying the contents, which I'm going to say is Hello World. I'm going to run the application. Same thing as Blend, it's going to run the emulator and load the application. So the application is loaded, and as you can see, it's got the text. So that's the other way that you can create an application. I'm going to close that. I'm also then going to close Visual Studio down. So now I'm not going to show you X and A. I'm going to open an application that I've had that pre-existed. And all this will do is do a simple Hello World, but there's a lot more work that needs to go into it. I've had to create objects and specifically draw them on the screen. I'm going to run it for you, and you'll see it looks very, very different. There's no layout managers, nothing that we're used to. And there's your Hello World. Okay, obviously also the orientation's a bit weird, but that's the basics of it. So it's a lot more complex to write applications in XA, but the benefit is that it has a lot more support for graphics processing units, as well as rich media content. So now we've seen how to create applications, let's talk a bit about the marketplace. The marketplace allows us to purchase applications as well as make applications available for people to purchase.
So we've got three kinds of apps in the marketplace. The first kind is completely free, no ads or anything like that, and you just download it and use as you want. The second one has got ads in it, so the user who created that game, they get revenue for the ads that are placed within it. And then the third one is typically paid for, and you would pay in whatever currency and you'd continue using the app until you don't have the phone anymore, or you upgrade to the next one.
Yes, so let's actually go and purchase an application using the marketplace. What we're going to show you now is really how the marketplace works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go load the marketplace, start it up, and you'll see here it gives me a bunch of apps that I can select and I can go purchase, but I'm going to go hunt down something for myself to go download. So I'm going to go to all, I want to go to the free applications, and let's just take Adobe Acrobat Reader. So I'm going to go install that. It's now going to go onto the internet and download it. If the application is particularly large, it's just going to use Wi-Fi. So now it's busy downloading Adobe Acrobat Reader and installing it automatically to my phone. Once it's ready, it'll be highlighted and I can then select it. So I'm going to go open Adobe Acrobat Reader, and there we go. Currently I don't have any documents, but pretty much the app's on my phone now.
So what we've looked at today is smartphones,
What they can do for you,
how easy it is to create applications for them,
how easy it is to get applications,
and also the amazing business opportunities that can potentially make you lots of money.
You can get hold of the Windows Phone 7.1 toolkit, as well as some tutorials from create.msdn.com.
If you find that the files are too big to download, why don't you get hold of us through our blog at blogs.msdn.com/South Africa, and we'll be able to get a CD to your school.